Hello Sudoku friends, and welcome to an evil level puzzle by websudoku.com. As usual, you can find a link to this puzzle in the description for this video. I tried to mix it up a little, and I'm going to try and solve this puzzle. We'll see how it goes. First of all, we see a couple of 2's blocking over, so a 2 must go here, and we're going to have a 2 either here or here later on. This 3 blocks here, this 3 blocks here and here. So we're going to have a 3 here. And we'll have ourselves a 6 here or here. 9 here or here because of this 9 blocking across and this 9 blocking down. What else? 8. So we are going to have an 8 in one of these squares because of this 8 blocking over. And therefore in one of these 2 squares. A 3 must go here or here. Can we do more with the 2's? I wonder. 2 blocks over and up. No, not at the moment. But a 1 must go here or here. That's certain because of these 2 1's blocking here and here. So what else? A 5. 5 blocks over here and down. Here's a 5. And we have a 5 blocking up and across. Here's another 5. Now we have 2 5's blocking across and 2 5's blocking up. So 5 here, one more 5, I believe, yes. This 5 blocks down, this blocks up, and this blocks across. So 5 goes here. And one final 5 must go here. So that's it for the 5's. 4's and 1's. I'm seeing 4 blocks over here and 1 block over here. That's really nothing. I thought I had something. So let me look at rows and columns and boxes with at least 5 givens. Let's start here. We need to find 1, 6, 7, and 9. 9 blocks here, 9 blocks here, so 9 goes here or here. 6. We know nothing about 8, can't go here, must go here or here, but could also go here and here. 7, also unclear. And what else? The 6. No, we can't do much here. What about column 8? 1, 2, 3, 8. Yes, we can do something here. The 2, 3, and an 8 block across. So here's a 1. And we're going to have a 1 here or here. 2, 3, 8 for these squares. The 2, of course, forces a 2 to go here or here, but we knew that. The 8 blocks over, the 2 blocks over, so here's a 3. Now, 2 and 8 here. Did anything good happen about the 3's now? 3 blocks up and up, so one of these is a 3. 3 blocks over and up, so one of these is a 3. So that's of little help. If these are 2 and 8 and the 9 blocks over, then one of these must be a 9. And this must be an 8 because this 8 blocks here. One of these is an 8, therefore neither of these 2 squares can be an 8, so an 8 goes here. Now we have 8's here or here. And here we have 7 and 9. That, of course, means that a 7 must go here or here. We also need a 6 and a 9 for the column. 9 blocks here, 9 blocks here. So here is a 9. So 6 and 7 for these positions. The 7 blocks here, here's a 6. And here therefore is a 7. Can we do anything with this? 9 blocks over, 9 blocks up, 9 goes here or here. Here a 4, 8, and a 1. This is 2, 8. These therefore must be 3 and 6. The 3 blocks over, here's a 6, here's a 3. I think that's right, isn't it? Now a 3 here or here. What, if anything, has happened in the center row? A 7 and a 9 must go in these squares, and 6, 7, 9 across. 6 here or here. The 9 can't go here, so this is a 7 line as well. That seems a little strange. So let me look at these 4 squares. 1, 4, 9, and an 8. Really can't tell anything except for the 8 going here and here. The 1, 4, and 9 is for grabs. The 6 in the top row must go here or here. We also have 6 blocking across and down, so one of these is a 6. Blocking across, 6 blocking across. 6 goes here or here, but this 6 blocks down. So we can isolate the 6 like so. This 6 blocks up and this blocks down. Here is a 6. Here a 7, 9, here a 7, 9, here a 7, 9, here not a 7, 9. So if this is not a 7, 9, and across here we need 1, 4, 7, 9, it must be 1, 4, mustn't it? Just in case I've never explained this before, but I know that I have. The reason this can't be a 7, 9 is that these must be a 7, 9. This must be a 7, 9. If one of these was a 7 or a 9, then we would have a unique rectangle issue and the puzzle would have more than one solution. And we've never seen a non-unique solution to a websudoku.com puzzle. And generally speaking, a puzzle with more than one solution would be invalid. So we can safely assume that this is not a 7, 9. And since this 7 blocks over here and a 7, 9 can't go here, it follows that this must be a 7, this must be a 9, and this must be a 7. So 1, 4, and a 9 across here now. And I can't really solve those. We also have a 1, 4, and a 9 in these squares here. But we found some numbers, and that's always a good thing. Let's have a look at the bottom row. We know that this is a 2, 8. We also need to find a 4. Can we do anything with that? The 8 blocks down, so 8 goes here or here. The 4, I don't really know anything about. We only have a couple of those guys in the grid. And we are going to have a 4 up here, but which square it's going to be in, I have no idea. I know that 1 will eventually have to go either here or here in column 2. Let's see the 7s. We now have the 7 blocking over. We found this 7 blocking down. One of these is a 7 blocking over. So a 7 goes here or here. We also need to find 2, 9, 8 for the column and a 4. This is a 2, 8. That doesn't make a lot of sense, and a 9, of course, must go in one of these squares. But the 8 and the 2, I have no idea. There might be something going on with the 7s and the 2s. We have 2 and 7 blocking here and here. So 2 and 7 must go in 2 of these 3 squares. But maybe this is a good time to try and demonstrate how my particular way of using pencil marks works. The generally accepted way is to use the Snyder, that's SNYDER, the Snyder notation, which I agree with is very good for beginners. But if you are at a place in a puzzle where I am at now, it is my experience that Snyder notation doesn't help at all. The Snyder notation says that if in a box a candidate can go in exactly 2 squares, not 3, not 4, but exactly 2 squares, then we can enter a small pencil mark. Let me demonstrate here, for example. The 1 could go here and it could go here. The 8 could go here and it could go here. The 4 could go in any of these, so we wouldn't enter a 4. Here we need a 2 and an 8, so we can enter those. This is basically the Snyder notation. However, as you can plainly see, this doesn't give me anything new. It would, of course, discover if I had made a mistake somewhere, or if I've just ignored or not noticed a single digit somewhere, a hidden single. Let's look at these here. They must be a 1, 4, and a 9. And I really can't say where those 3 go. And it would be wrong to enter a 1, 4, and a 9 like so. That would be in violation of the Snyder notation. So my own way of doing pencil marks, when I have to do pencil marks, and let's assume that I have to for this puzzle, it seems a good place to demonstrate. My way of doing pencil marks is that I enter pencil marks in cells that can take exactly 2 values, no matter where they are in the grid. That more often than not helps me find hidden singles or triples. So let's see if that helps with this puzzle. We already know that these 2 are bi-value cells because there are only 2 cells and they need to be a 2 and an 8. So I can enter a 2 and an 8 here. Let's continue in this row here. Apart from the 2 and an 8, I also need to find a 4. We know that this 8 blocks down, so this square can only be a 2 or a 4. So I will enter a 2 and a 4 here, like so. This can be a 2, 4, or an 8, so I'm not touching it. Let's see what we can do up here. This square can only be a 4 or an 8, so I can enter that. This square here can only be a 1 or a 4. This square can be a 1, 4, or an 8, so I'm not touching it. Let's look across here. We need to find a 1, 4, and a 9. We have 1 blocking up here, so here's a 4 or a 9. These I can't touch because they can contain 3 numbers, because they can contain 3 candidates each. Let me move over here and see if we can do anything in the first column. We need to find a 1, 2, 4, 7, and a 9. So 1, 9 here. So this is a 2, 4, 7. I'm not touching it. This is a 1, 4, 9. We've discussed that. We have a 4 and a 9 blocking over here. So this is a 1, 2, or a 7. So I'm not touching that either. Now let's look at this column here, column 2. We need to find a 1, 4, and a 7. Here we have a 1 blocking over, so we can enter a 4 and a 7 candidates here. The 4 blocks over, so this is a 1, 7 candidate. The 7 blocks over, so this is a 1, 4 candidate. You can see the pattern now. Let's have a look at row 2 now. We need to find a 1, 2, 4, 7, and a 9. We have a 1, 2, 7. This is a 4 or a 9. And you immediately see what this means. We now have isolated 2 squares in 2 separate boxes, box 2 and box 5, and they are a remote pair of 4s and 9s. That, of course, reduces the number of squares I need to look at in the same column to just 3. They can't be 4 and 9, so they must be an 8, 6, and a 3. We have a 3 and a 6 blocking this square, therefore it's got to be an 8. So this finds us a 2 here and an 8 here. Now these must be a 2 and a 4, so I can enter a 2 and a 4 here. It may not be necessary, but just for the sake of argument and demonstration, I'm going to enter it. So we have the 4 and a 9. We also now need for these 2 squares a 3 and a 6. And I can enter that like so, 3, 6, and 3, 6. That would violate the Snyder notation dogma, but it helps me find stuff. And it helps me find stuff considerably faster than first using the Snyder notation and then ending up having to contaminate the grid with a lot of superfluous pencil marks that I don't need. These are pencil marks that I know that I need. That's a bare minimum. And there is nothing here that I don't need. Now we found this 8. It might be a good thing to look across here and see what we are missing. We are missing a 7, 9, and a 4. We have a 7 and a 9 blocking here. So here is a 4. And these must be a 7, 9. This 4 blocks up, giving me a 4 here. And these two, of course, now must be a 1 and a 9. We can enter them as pencil marks. You see how we are keeping the pencil marks to a bare minimum. I don't really like to clutter my grid with pencil marks that are totally unnecessary. Now we found this 4, and that means that this must be a 2 and this must be a 4, because this is another part of using pencil marks the way that I like to do. If we only have by value cells filled in, we know that as soon as we take away one of these digits, we know immediately what the other one is going to be. So let's have a look here. We have the 1 and a 9. We just need to find 3 more numbers for the column. And they can't, of course, be a 1 and 9. There must be a 2, 8, and a 3. The 8 blocks here and here. Therefore, the 8 has got to go here. And this is now a 2 and a 3. The 2 blocks over, here's a 3, and here's a 2. Also, please notice that as soon as I enter pencil marks and I spot a big number, like I just spotted the 2, 3, and the 8, I stop with the pencil marks because I have enough information to complete the column. So there's no need for me to just keep entering pencil marks because I just have to remove them later on, and it's a waste of time. So let's see if we can do something else now. We know that one of these must be a 4. According to Snyder, I would enter a 4 here and here as pencil marks, but I would still not know anything about whether this is going to be the one or this is going to be the one. So to me, it's clutter, and I don't like to do it. Here, we only have 2 more squares to fill, and they both have to be a 1 and 7, so we can enter that like so. And these, therefore, must be a 3, 6, and a 2. We got a 6 blocking down, so this is going to be a 2 or a 3. We have a 3 blocking down, so this is a 2 or a 6. See how neat this is? We only enter the necessary pencil marks, no less, no more. Here we need to find a 1, 7, and a 9. The 1, 9, and a 1 block over. So here is a 7 actually, and that gives me a 7 here and a 1 here. This is not a 1, 4 anymore. It is just a 4. You see, I don't have to analyze this anymore because I enter candidates only into by-value cells. And since this just says 4 now, because I entered a 1 here, I just simply plug in a 4 here and a 1 here, and I'm done with it. And it doesn't take a real genius to figure out that this must be a 9. We only have one value in here now, so I don't need to analyze this any further. I know it's an 8. Now these are 1 and 4, and I can see the 1 blocking over, giving me a 4 here. And that isolates the 1 for this position here. Here we need a 9 and an 8. In a perfect world, I would enter those here, but it's not really necessary because it's so easy for me to remember that these must be 9 and 8. Instead, I'm going to look at these. This is a 3, 6, and this therefore also must be a 3 or a 6, but we can see the 6 blocking up, so there's no reason not to enter a 6 here and a 3 here. We now have a 3 and 3 blocking down like so, and this 3 blocking over, so here's a 3. We now have 2 isolated small candidates here, and they must be a 2 and a 6. No need to look further. We just enter the big numbers like so. And we can follow these 2's blocking up, this 2 blocking across, giving me a 2 here. We have a single 4 here, so guess what goes here? That's right, a 4, giving me a 9 here. and therefore a 9 here and a 1 here. Here we need a 7, is obvious, and that gives me a 7 here and a 9 here. This square must be a 4, and these must be an 8 and a 1. This 1 blocks down, here's an 8, here's a 1. The 8 blocks up, another 8 goes here, and here we get a 9. And that's it for this puzzle. A lot of explaining, I know, but I thought that this puzzle was a very good opportunity to demonstrate my use of pencil marks, how to keep them neat and clean and at a minimum. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you'll come back for more soon. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.